Black actress denied wig for Broadway tour now sues. Don't do the action if you don't want me to read a headline like that, because this is America. According to the LA Times, the recent revival of the Tony Award-winning musical 1776 was strategically cast in a post-Hamilton world, with actors of diverse gender identities and racial backgrounds portraying the white male founding fathers as they finalized the Declaration of Independence. Show's marketing material promised, quote, putting history in the hands of the humans who were left out the first time around. Well, that sounds interesting. That's noble creativity here. That's what it says. Humans who were left out. But a lawsuit has now been filed by actor Zuri Washington, who alleges racial discrimination and the good old retaliation. Washington hopes the complaint, which recounts producers' dismissal of hair preferences and an allegation of termination after expressing an intent to submit a formal report of discrimination, will reignite conversations about the inequitable treatment of Black hair and the harmful, angry Black woman stereotype. Y'all got to stop this. You're trying to take away people's superpower, and it's not going to work. But you're going to keep trying, aren't you? Lawsuit states it all began after she requested to wear a wig on stage to protect her natural hair. I love my natural hair, but producers don't realize what wearing my natural hair for 8 shows a week entails. Washington told the LA Times, you don't know because that's not your world. I may know all about your hair, but you don't know anything about mine. That's just what we're dealing with. You didn't get to see it. There weren't commercials about it. And so you still don't get it in 2024? What she's talking about? Because it's not your way of living? Wow, that's so ignorant. The contract of Washington was cast to play Robert Livingston, was terminated last week once she filed her complaint against the production company's network's presentations in 1776 touring and some of their staff members. She alleges that her termination resulted from expressing her plan to submit official reports of discrimination against the tour's production firms, the Times reported. Griot staff here, the Griot with the details here. Okay, so she told you what she was going to do, and then she did it. That's being stand-up to me. You should have worked it out. Quote, I was made to feel like I did something wrong in the course of this entire experience. And I know I didn't do anything wrong, Washington said. I could have done things differently, perhaps. But what they did to me is like a legal version of tone policing. Like I'm being constantly punished for existing and telling my truth. Agreed. It was crucial to Washington to have the option of wearing a protective style in 1776 because of her previous traumatizing hair experience while on tour for the show Hairspray, she said. The actress shared that she was devastated, cutting her locks to ear length after almost undergoing hair loss due to the various climate conditions she was exposed to while traveling and performing. If you don't understand what she's talking about, read a book or, I don't know, does Chris Rock movie, Mayor, explain anything? Because I know there are some sisters had some complaints about that. But whatever you have to do, educate yourself and don't go touching somebody's hair to do it. Quote, I promised myself never again would I leave the fate of my hair, something that's so close to me and that I care about so much, up to other people, Washington contended. And given the ethos of the production, I was hoping I would feel secure, supported by the team behind the scenes. They said the people who were not part of this get to have a say, or paraphrasing. But did they really mean it? No. If this is true, then no. She claimed to have contacted the tour's management after being selected in December 2022 to communicate her uneasiness about wearing her natural hair and preference for wearing a wig or getting a braided style. Though she sent several emails to gain clarity and finalize the show's hair plans, no one responded to her messages. Opinion, mine. They got your messages. They just didn't feel like answering you, and they already had labeled you difficult. because that's what they do. By the time Washington received an answer about the course of action for her hairstyle, the cast had already arrived in Utica, New York, for the tour's first stop. Washington said her request for a wig, alongside those of her other castmates of color who made the same request, had been denied, despite her white castmates being provided with them. Now, you can't see what's brewing here. You don't. Now, through a lawsuit, Washington is fighting to hold the 1776 production company and staff accountable for their bias. She said she hopes being vocal about her experience will encourage others, actors, speak up for themselves in discriminatory environments. I used to think I'm the only one this has happened to, and it's so uncomfortable to hash through the stories, Washington said, but if I can make a difference in this way, it will have been worth it. So here we go again, Mayor. Her story is not unusual. I know that as a Black woman being in newsrooms my whole career. Telling the truth means you're angry and, no, we're not going to make an apology for a white 18-year-old teenager who gets on blackface and does a Snapchat and somebody screen grabs it and you want to call this poor girl. And your point of view is about, well, she sent it to her friends, and why did people put it out there? This is a true story. Okay, you have to speak up, even if you're not the only Black person in the room, when you're someone who is a little bit fearless, I'll say. And you say, did you hear what you just said? And why are you always taking the police blotter and saying things like, looking for a Black man? What Black man are you looking for? Because I don't hear you saying looking for a white man. Who are you looking for? So this doesn't surprise me at all. The fact that they're just so vapid, so ridiculous with it, Mayor. So the white people in the production got wigs. The Black people who have a beautiful crown that they want to protect. I don't even know why this even would have to go through a lawsuit. Do you?
Yeah. Listen, this story sounds to me as if you brought on Black people to use their hair as part of your marketing scheme.
Wow.
That's what I'm getting from this idea that we're involving people in 1776 that were left out. That means we need these Black women to look a certain way. They need to look ethnic. We can't hide their kink, right? Their kink is part of the sale. So if we give them wigs to make their hair look like the other women on the show, it's gonna make it's gonna ruin our sale. This is disgusting. This is the actually trying to exploit Black people for Blackness without their permission. And I mean, it's so blatant that you damn right they should be sued over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely disgusting. The fact that every person of color on this show went through this, or on this tour went through this, is telling. It is absolutely telling. I don't care what your intent is. We're talking about your actions and how it landed. And it came off and it feels disgusting and exploitive.
And quit lying. Quit lying and pretending you're woke. You can shed that lie and shimmy on out of it. That's a little snake skin, because you're not woke and you're not interested in diversity, is what the mayor said. You're interested in pretending that you're really interested in capitalizing on wokeness, and perhaps other people who pretend or think they are interested in diversity, but they're not. And then when somebody said, well, hey, you're not being very diverse, then you said, I'll show you. And you turned into really same devilish racist ways. This is actually ridiculous. And take that little thing you put at the top about what this is all about, underrepresentation. Take that off and stop. Tell the PR company, stop using that stuff, because it's not true. Okay? 1776. Till you fix this, it's not true.